You are watching News9 Live. I am Krishna Kumar and we are discussing the big story of the day here on News9 Live. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi was given a 2-year jail term today by a court in Gujarat for defamation. The case pertains to a 2019 criminal defamation suit filed against him over his Modi surname remarks. Now, the case was lodged by BJP MLA and former Gujarat Minister Purnesh Modi. And now we have with us Brijesh Pandey, my colleague, joining us on this discussion. We also have Rashid Kidwai joining us and Anurag Naidu joining us. Thank you both of you for joining us as well. I'm going to begin this discussion by asking Brijesh, we've been discussing the story the entire day, and the one thing that seems to be coming out, especially in social media, is criminal defamation laws should have been a thing of the past per se. Many voicing that opinion.
Well, absolutely. You know, there are no two ways about it. I mean, if you talk about free liberal democracy, or if we are in 21st century and we have a law like criminal defamation, it's patently absurd. There are no two ways about it. There cannot be two ways about it. And also, you know, there's a lot of criticism of the judgment which has been given. People are echoing what many in the Congress party also saying that you know, giving 2 years jail for a statement on which itself there are certain grey areas. This should not have been done. The BJP, you know, wants to weaponize this statement by saying that, this judgment by saying that this shows the reckless streak in Rahul Gandhi and how he has insulted the Modi caste, you know, which is the OBC caste per se in Gujarat. The Congress is very, very clear that come what may, this is being seen as, you know, the Congress's as well as the entire opposition narrative as to how a Modi government is hell-bent on killing all kind of dissent and anybody who is not part of the coalition of Bharatiya Janata Party. So both sides are having a big go as far as this judgment is concerned.
And then, of course, the big question is what happens now? What next? Rashid Kidwai, talk to us. Rahul has been convicted, and now that is a political problem for Rahul as an MP, as a parliamentarian, and as far as the upcoming elections are concerned. So what next for Rahul Gandhi from here on?
I think, first of all, Rahul Gandhi would face a kind of, legal trouble. And one thing that I see a danger is about his, membership and continuation as a Lok Sabha MP from one yard. We know that how it happened in the case of, UP Minister Azam, former UP Minister Azam Khan, how quickly UP government moved and kind of, disqualified him from Uttar Pradesh Assembly. But that's not my area of so much concern, because these are all political rhetoric. I am very much alarmed and concerned, having seen and covered parliament for decades, that this kind of decline of social etiquettes, what we call it, manbhed, matbhed have become manbhed. So this has become very deep, the kind of bitterness, and that's how this language is employed. I think Rahul Gandhi should have retracted and clarified at least that he didn't mean to cast any kind of aspersion on a particular caste or particular individual perhaps occupying the highest office in the country. There need to be a dignity about it. I mean, there are a lot of whatabouteries there. You can go on how a slogan was coined way back during the Bofor's time, that gali gali mein shor hai, Rajiv Gandhi chor hai. I think it was bad taste then, it's bad taste now. So absence of political decency is an area of my concern, and I think that's where the two sides need to get together. But there's no meeting ground. You don't get to see, say Prime Minister inviting the Gandhis for a cup of tea, or Gandhis, having showing any kind of grace and social gesture towards the office of Prime Minister.
So in a sense, you're saying
absence of it was not there when the BJP was.
In a sense, you're lamenting the loss of political decency. But if I were to ask you, is it the first time it's happened in India's political history?
No, I don't think this has happened the first time, and this has not happened the last time. There are I give you example of this. The matter is about court, and we should be slightly restrained and respectful towards saying, what the court has observed. Because the court must be having facts before it, and it has applied its mind. But what I'm saying is this collapse of political decency is something that is very, very problematic. I mean, there was Indira Gandhi who had jailed, people for 19 months or so during emergency. And when they came out, there was no bitterness. When Sanjay Gandhi died, I remember, and I've written it also, that when Sanjay Gandhi Gandhi died in a very unfortunate accident. Air crash. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, L.K. Advani, Chandrasekhar, they all had gone and met Indira Gandhi. And but when they came out, I mean, they were more, emotional and full of tears than Indira Gandhi at that point of time. So I'm saying that these are the human side of it. I mean, they could not see that Indira Gandhi was trying to retain her, composure, etc. But they could understand what it would mean, losing a young son like that. So I'm saying these are the human emotions, raw human emotions that we had seen today. We don't
Right.
see that. And this is something, as I said, the when Rahul Gandhi may succeed in getting some stay and the show will go on. But this bitterness should not be there. I think when Rahul Gandhi spoke these words, he meant, I mean, he realized what he's saying. He should have been careful and he had all the time. It costs nothing to say sorry. It costs nothing to say that, I didn't mean to hurt a particular community. Or this. See, this trying to be clever by half. If you look at the social media, there are many instances I can say about, from a Congress social media, creatives, which are, I mean, actually, they're not creative. They are very, very, gross and abusive.
Right. Rashid Kidwai, hold on to that thought. We have a reaction coming in from Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Let's listen to that and then we'll continue this discussion.
We have a 170-page judgment, which is still subject to translation. And I would like to be a little cautious before I start going into details, which I'm sure we'll have shortly. It's in Gujarati. We believe that this is full of errors and legally unsustainable conclusions. But make no mistake, generally, all your attempts to create a chilling effect, a throttling effect, a strangulating effect on open, fearless speech relating to public interest will not stop either Rahul Gandhi or the Congress party. This particular speech was made in the context of price rise and unemployment, as the speech transcript shows. It was made in Kollar more than 3-4 years ago. And there are some disturbing aspects of this judgment, which of course shall be subject to challenge proximately and immediately, but which I want to share with you very briefly. Firstly, the heart of the law of defamation, criminal defamation, is that persons who are complainants should be those who must be able to demonstrate how they personally, A, B or C, is defamed. How is he or she prejudiced? Now the admitted position is that no one, which is the subject matter of the statement which is found to be offending, has filed a criminal complaint. The first condition precedent of the law of defamation appears to have been patently not fulfilled and yet led to a conviction. Secondly, it is equally well established that malice is an essential ingredient of such offences. The very context of this speech shows that there could not have been any malicious intent. A leader of the political party of India with a pan-India footprint was speaking about unemployment, price rise, in the course of which there is a sentence which has been found to be offending, less than a sentence. The focus of the speech was not these three persons. The intent of the speech was not these three persons. The thrust of the substance of the core of his speech was not these three persons. In less than half a sentence on a speech about public interest, political issues in the country, major economic issues like unemployment and price rise, social issues, there cannot be any possible malicious intent, which is again another vital condition precedent to make out the criminal defamation.
There can't be no malicious intent is the word coming from Abhishek Manu Singhvi, senior Congress party leader. Now we also have on the broadcast joining us is Anurag Naidu, political analyst. Anurag Naidu, thank you so much. We also have Rashid Kidwai continuing to stay on with us. Anurag, let me quickly take this across. You've heard the reaction coming in from Abhishek Manu Singhvi. They're tearing this judgment apart as as a miscarriage of law.
Of course. I mean, what else you can expect from a member of the Indian National Congress? And all due respect, he's also a practicing advocate at the Supreme Court. And he made it very clear. The transcripts are not yet out, and it'll be very not so prudent to comment on the contours of the judgment. But yes, I mean, they have all the right, and they have all the freedom to make their own conclusions. But at the end of the day, it is a code of law. It is a judicial judgment, and what it is, I will also, let the transcript roll out, and let there be a thorough analysis on what exactly the judgment read. But I believe that any judgment from any court of the law, whether it is a sessions court or a district court or a high court or a supreme court or even a tribunal, I think a judgment is a judgment. To that extent, we should all start respecting that the judgment has been made. And of course, there would have been some critical contours of this statement that we are talking about that was made at a rally in Kolar, which actually created all this disruption. So I think not everything is right, but I would also see, from the last few days of discourse that Mr. Gandhi had when he made an international presence in UK, and then he made his speech and his speeches all across India as well. There have been a bit of controversies around that. I would probably urge, leaders who are so tall, who are having a pan-India presence, as Mr. Singhvi himself mentioned, should measure the language before speaking, because, once you go out and speak, and if somebody questions that, and you say, come on, look, we are being, victimized, or we are being haunted, or we are being, cornered because we are raising our voice. The point is, the courts are equally open to both the sides. And Mr. Gandhi can also very well go and challenge in the upper court, can go and challenge the petition, which of course I'm being told that he's going to do. But the point here is, are we really happy with the kind of discourse that we are putting out? We may have some kind of anger, as apparently Mr. Gandhi is very upset, many a times that things are not working out for him personally as well. With all due respect, he's a leader of a party, but let's be honest, the things are also not working out for him and not for the party under his leadership. And that's why there is a leadership change in the party. So there is a bit of frustration, which sometimes is showing up. We've seen in
Right.
rallies in Rajasthan and other places where he's been, he's shown that,
Right.
towards people who have been trying to take selfies and all so on and so forth. But we can understand the nervousness. But I would say leaders like him should measure, and the party or the senior leaders of the party should also advise him to, probably have a balanced approach while speaking in public forums.
Right, those are visuals, incidentally, of Rahul Gandhi returning home. Rashid Kidwali, another point being raised there. Yes, there is, fault to be found with Rahul Gandhi and what he speaks and how he speaks and where he speaks it. But then there is also the question that there could be a civil defamation case. That's perfectly fine. Why a criminal defamation case? Because many argue that the criminal defamation law per se belongs in another era, not in modern day. Civil defamation is fine.
Absolutely, I think you are spot on. This is a very problematic area, and defamation, criminal defamation of this nature, of course, reeks of a lot of political vendetta and revengeful attitude and all. We must also remember that political decency is not a one-way street. It takes two to tango. As I keep giving examples a lot of time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee era vis-a-vis Congress, Rajiv Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Indira Gandhi. They were basically, of course, there were a lot of skirmishes were there, but end of the day, they had a healthy regard. Here I have seen 2014 onwards, there is an absence of near absence of respect. So the opposition says anything and everything, throws everything at Mr. Modi, and Mr. Modi himself or his party, often they do not also do justice, because they speak, we know all these things that have been in the public discourse, this jersey cow and 50 lakh ki girlfriend, etc. There are many utterances are there, and but I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the maturity demands that he need not, need to apologize, but he needs to clarify that his remarks were not to offend anybody, any community, any section of people, any particular individual. All these things are there because I think it is very important in politics to be on the right kind of things, because remember there are bucks and there are, like, people who are very pro Congress or anti Modi, etc.
Right.
But there is a large section of Indians who
Fair
are
enough.
neutral, who observe, who are
Fair enough.
silent, but they look at all these things, and then they form opinion. That's how Indira Gandhi shined there. That's how Vajpayee shined. That's how some would say Manmohan Singh shined. So I think these aspects have to be taken a note of.
Right. Fair enough. Actually, before I move on, Brijesh Pandey has a question. Brijesh, go ahead.
Rashid bhai, Brijesh this side. I just wanted to understand one thing from you. How do you see this thing being played politically? Because the BJP has gone on a major offensive, and for a change, we saw Arvind Kejriwal and others who were like treating Congress like a pariah have all of a sudden started tweeting in his favor and supporting Rahul Gandhi. How do you see this thing panning out? Is opposition warming up to the Congress, or is this just a one-off occasion?
So I think, Brajesh, you have asked a very pertinent and very interesting question. I think the opposition, entire opposition, non-India opposition, is really around the view that there should be a legal umbrella or some kind of legal consolidation should be there, that on such matter they should close ranks and present a united face. This is an early phase, but it happens. It depends how Rahul Gandhi looks at it. I'll just remind you and your viewers that what had happened when Rahul Gandhi had made some remark about Rafale in Supreme Court on the 2019 time. The legal experts gave him a legal advice. They kept fighting actually inside the court that it should be regret and not apology. And I remember that every time there was five phase polling, and every time there was polling, and the Supreme Court would make some procedural but adverse remarks about Rahul Gandhi. So it took so if Rahul Gandhi just relies too much on the legal part of it, remember, this is political. This is in the domain of politics. We know that it's unlikely that he would be jailed for 2 years, or even if he's disqualified, the only less than a year is left, or a year is left for the Lok Sabha. So he may become a kind of hero. But if in order to become a hero, you need to ride on a high moral ground and go across the country, and another Bharat Jodo kind of thing. Whether Rahul Gandhi is capable or not, there are a lot of ifs and buts are there, because we've seen in Rahul Gandhi's political career, whenever he tries to do something, something else happens. I mean, which acts like a distraction. And the BJP, let's not forget, Brajesh, and you are a very astute political observer. You know that the BJP has a vested interest politically in projecting Rahul Gandhi. It looks a bit of a paradox on my side, on my part, but a narrative, 2024 narrative, Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. Some say it's advantage BJP.
Right. Is it advantage BJP? Would you concur with that argument, Anurag Naidu?
Yeah, it appears so. I mean, let's be very honest about it. And it is purely based on data. I mean, it doesn't matter whether I feel it or Mr. Rashid feels it or you feel it. It's about the data. And the data shows that it is a tremendous advantage of the BJP if it is a fight with Rahul Gandhi. And let's not forget the shining star for the Congress right now. The brightest star in the sky is the Karnataka election. Then that looks to be a bit today.
Right. We seem to be having an issue with that connection with Anurag.
Honest, in the
Anurag,
favor, everything that we see. Hello, I'm audible.
yes, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead, Anurag.
Yeah. So I was just telling about I was just telling about what worked well for BJP for all the last 10 years. Probably they might also try to use the same for the upcoming Karnataka election, because let's not forget, Karnataka has been said and speculated that Congress has a bright chance this time, and probably Mr. Modi or Mr. Amit Shah has not hit the ground yet. But if you can actually have a Rahul versus Modi show in Karnataka, that might actually turn the things in the favor of the BJP, what worked nationally. So before, instead of localizing the issue where the BJP is in a very sticky wicket when it is about the local strategy in Karnataka, because I come from Bangalore, I can tell you the sentiments are not very positive with the current chief minister and the dispensation of the BJP. And the BJP would probably try to make it a bit of a Modi versus Rahul kind of a contest, which will heavily swing the things towards the BJP. And that's what BJP has been doing even the state election. Wherever they had tough time, they'll use the Modi card, and then Mr. Modi will come to the rescue. So maybe, whatever is going on, it's probably to the advantage of the BJP. And And I think by all means, it's an election season. BJP will try to take an advantage of it, which will always work for them. And no wonder if it works again. Yeah.
Right. And the other big question is, will Rahul Gandhi be disqualified from the parliament? More immediate question, Rashid Kidwai, because, that one thing that will happen if he does get disqualified is that you can see the opposition then gravitate towards Rahul Gandhi.
Pankaj, I'll just want to put an update which has come in. A big meeting seems to be happening at the residence of Khadge. And all the top guns of the all the Congress party, from P. Chidambaram to Manish Tiwari to Meera Kumar and to Anand Sharma, Rajiv Shukla, Vivek Tankha, Jairam Ramesh, Manikam Tagore, Adhir Ranjan, Gaurav Gogoi, they all are meeting to discuss, to talk about, what has happened till now, to take a stock of the situation and also to formulate the strategy of how to go ahead with the challenge that is facing Rahul Gandhi. Please.
Right, that's breaking news with Brijesh. Always happens when he's in the studio, something or the other with the latest updates. That's the Congress strategy meeting, if I may, Brijesh. So to speak, it's been a crazy day. Lot has transpired. There was the conviction, there was a judgment, there was a jail term, there was the bail. And then there's all the chatter all around it, national media on non-stop mode for the entire day discussing this issue. And now Brijesh telling us that update that the top guns of the Congress party are now huddled. And where exactly do you say, Brijesh, they are?
It's happening at Khadge's residence.
Mallikarjun Kharge's residence.
And this assumes importance because almost all the top guns are there. And there's a parallel meeting also which is going on, which happened at Sharad Pawar's residence, where there were talk about EVM and all, but it saw a very good presence of opposition parties. So this particular meeting which is happening at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence is basically, I think, more of a stock-taking exercise of what has happened till now and how do we proceed, in a manner where we are able to blunt all kind of accusations and narrations which the BJP is throwing at the Congress right now.
Right. Rashid Kidwai, what do you think is going on in that meeting? What do you think will be the answer for the Congress party from a situation like this?
I think, Pankaj, it's a make or break moment for the Congress and the Gandhis. You see, this is not something that Congress would take it lying down because everyone knows that there is a very much 101% possibility that Mr. Rahul Gandhi would indeed be disqualified. I mean, this may sound little, sordid or so, but I mean, the political kind of bitterness is so much there that this is seen as that, okay, you brazen it out and let's take it to people's court. And if again Mr. Modi wins with 300 seats and all, then you see Rahul Gandhi is finished, then the Congress is finished. I think the Congress and opposition know this, they are aware of this. So some ways there is a kind of thing about 1977 kind of moment where the opposition did not project anyone as a prime ministerial candidate. They just went 8 parties, fought election, and they were managed to beat Indira Gandhi, and then they kind of had a prime ministerial candidate, etc. So I think this is what Sharad Pawar has seen it all. At that time, he was a chief minister, a very key player in 1977. Also, I think there are a lot of people who are at play, who are just saying this, that look, let's not fret it away. Let's look for a kind of opening. First thing first, try to corner Mr. Modi, push him less than 250 seats, less than 225 seats. I mean, these are all speculative things, but I'm saying everybody was looking for a moment, and this Rahul Gandhi's, disqualification can be a moment. Remember, just a year before 1989 election, the entire opposition had actually, offered resignation from Lok Sabha. So this happens, drastic moment, desperation calls for desperate action. So if there is a desperation in disqualifying Rahul, I think the opposition will also get desperate. Somehow, I mean, journalistically speaking, a very exciting time for media.
Exciting time for media is the word coming from Anurag Naidu. If I were to ask you the same question as a political analyst, purely, tell us, clearly the Congress party, as Rashid Kidwai rightly pointed out, they're not going to take this lying down. You're seeing, galvanization of the opposition happening purely because of this particular issue, this particular incident. What do you think? What's next?
I think it's a beautiful opportunity for both Congress and the BJP. Yeah. Congress, particularly Congress, because, at the back of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, all said and done, it was a kind of makeover in terms of, what brand Rahul always stood for. So there's a big, I would say, a tectonic shift in how he has been looking and the optics and everything around him. But it would also be a big opportunity for the Congress to galvanize, the opposition support, as somebody rightly said. It's also a good opportunity for Congress to, and of course, I also personally think that disqualification is a very certain thing that we're going to see in the coming days. So they might probably use this to play a victim card, and that might kind of, and of course, the Karnataka, it's a very good opportunity if Congress sweeps Karnataka on its own about 120, 125 seats, and then that's where they get this momentum of telling and convincing the opposition party, hey, look, we are still the big brothers, and let's sit down on the table, but we are going to have the bigger pie of the cake. So things can actually turn in the favor of the Congress, but it all depends, because as I said, it is exciting time for both Congress and the BJP, because BJP also wants absolutely the same. BJP also wants this to be, Rahul versus Modi again. And BJP, for all the reasons and all the analysis that they might have done, and I think they're also convinced with them that this might actually work in the favor of BJP, because the opposition, let's not forget, has been very, very off late, very opportunistic when it comes to opportunities, or very opportunities when it comes to the space. They're being very possessive when it comes to the kind of dominance that they had there in their own areas. There's a very big growing clout of regional parties. How do Congress deal with this regional parties growing cloud? That's also a very difficult situation. People are not ready to accommodate Congress in many states. These are the challenges that they have practically on the table. If you leave about this media, charm that of the media PR exercise that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been carrying out with the support of some consultants, and having this Bharat Jodo Yatra and containers and all the movements and everything. But all said and done, the data speaks that things are not very easy with the opposition, because the acceptance, everybody, somebody spoke about Sharad Pawar. What is the beautiful thing about the relation between Congress and NCP? Now the NCP is the bigger brother for Congress in Maharashtra, where all these years Congress used to be the big brother. And this is something the tallest leaders of the Congress are still not able to digest. And I can tell you, knowing this Maharashtra politics so very well, these are the kind of things. Now NCP would like to play that big brother. Now they're the opposition party, leading opposition party in Maharashtra, and they want to play this role of big brother in Maharashtra. So that is not acceptable for Congress. There are many other states like this where Congress is not acceptable. They have their own issues, and you've also seen some optics coming out when Mr. Fadnavis is causing up with Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. So it can happen anything. Opposition is very fractured, very fragile, and that leaves a big opportunity for BJP. So of course, an exciting time for all the analysts and all the media to watch out for.
Exciting times. I'm reminded of the famous Chinese proverb, may you live in interesting times. And we certainly live in interesting times, Brijesh. No matter what happens, it looks like certain things are very more probable than the other. One is the fact that Rahul Gandhi could get disqualified from the parliament. These are live visuals from outside, just now before this, live visuals from outside Mallikarjun Kharge's residence, where top Congress leaders were in a meeting, are in a meeting as we speak, that Brijesh has been telling us about. Brijesh, the real problem is this: if Rahul Gandhi does get disqualified from the parliament, what do you think will happen after that?
Well, honestly speaking, I don't think that Rahul Gandhi will get disqualified, because I don't think the BJP will want to push the matter to a level where the situation emerges that Rahul Gandhi has become a martyr in the cause. This is something which I think the BJP would like to avoid. I mean, we don't know for sure, because nobody's confirming as of now, but based on my conversation with two senior leaders, I can say that the dominant feeling is not to disqualify Rahul Gandhi, because it will make him look like, as somebody who has lost his seat in the cause. Usually what happens is, as we see in the case of so many parallels which were drawn, and I very strongly objected to, when the case of Indira Gandhi, when she was hitting she was being politically nowhere, hitting the nadir, and various other places. I don't know whether you remember or not. You remember that scene before in the picture which was there in the front page of Papers, where Sharad Pawar was standing completely drenched in rain. And and it was one of the most iconic pictures. So there comes a time in life, when a challenge is thrown at you, how you respond makes you a good leader. I think if they do it, and Rahul Gandhi goes and fight election from Wayanad again and wins with a handsome majority, I think the BJP would lose that blunt or the edge as far as the narration goes. And I think the BJP would not want that to happen so close to the elections in Karnataka,
right,
where the Congress is giving them a good fight. I think the biggest challenge for the BJP, and this can be gauged from the fact that tomorrow Home Minister is going, a day after tomorrow Prime Minister is going, and day after tomorrow again a day after Home Minister is going. All three going to the state of Karnataka. So I don't think that BJP would want to do that. And if they do that, I think it will give Rahul Gandhi one more chance to bounce back from the controversy which the BJP has been trying to pin him down on his statements made at Cambridge.
Right, and as you speak, you just gave us that piece of breaking news as well of the big Congress meeting that is taking place at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. As we speak, all top guns of the Congress party, Sonia Gandhi onwards, everybody over there, including Rahul Gandhi. Tell us, these kind of meetings, this is going. I'm guessing it's going to go on for a while, and essentially, it is essentially it's like mitigating any kind of panic within the party.
Well, more than panic, I think this meeting is to strategize as to what to do ahead. The Congress as a political party knows what can happen next, and I think this is more of a strategy to formulate what to do forward, how to blunt the narration which is being put forth by the BJP. See, BJP is already, as we were discussing, BJP has already started putting it into the caste context. The remark. They are not concerned about what happens to Rahul Gandhi, but they want to destroy that use that caste narrative. We saw Giriraj Singh saying it's not an insult of Modi, it's an insult of Modi caste, it is insult of OBC. The Gandhis don't like OBC. So they've already started doing that, and I think this is where they would want to damage more rather than see him getting disqualified from the Lok Sabha.
Right, Rashid Kitbai, clearly Brijesh is not very convinced that the disqualification is a done thing. But what else? The point is that the conviction in itself needs to be overturned for more than just the disqualification.
Yes, I think the BJP would do the cost, this thing benefit analysis also, whether it's going to help them or not. So I think the next action on disqualification would depend on that, if Rahul is an easy beat or not. The second thing is that you must also remember, Brijesh, there is a saying in Hindi, कि कभी-कभी हम अपने विरोधियों के कारण आगे बढ़ते हैं. It's being attributed to Mahatma Gandhi.
Very true.
So is that moment for Rahul? Because if that happens, because Rahul Gandhi, remember, as I said, you see the millions and millions of Indians are actually politically neutral, and they see it and they decide. The category of Bhaks or the kind of, ultra secular liberals and all are handful. I mean, they are in a few lakhs, etc. So there's a huge constituency. So it depends. They don't like to see unearth, something that is happening, a wrongdoing. And that's how Indira Gandhi benefited when she was disqualified for parliament, when she was elected in Chikmagalur, and she was disqualified. So the Indira Gandhi's great comeback era was also a lot of Janata Party follies. These two, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, they may be very ambitious, but they are not reckless. We must remember that.
Very true, very true.
Very true. Right. Let me take this across to Anurag Naidu for one last quick comment. If I were to ask you your quick take on the events of the day, what would be your quick take?
I would say, there's one more opportunity for Rahul Gandhi, but it all depends on how he takes it. But, I have one kind of very different opinion about it. Why I think that that they are going to go after the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. I may be wrong, but what I actually think is, BJP actually wants Rahul Gandhi to be that face of opposition, and if they don't do it, there'll still be prevailing confusion. BJP will not be very interested when there is possibly a very good alliance of all the opposition party with a common understanding that all the regional parties will, fight BJP on its own. And that's where the fear for BJP lies. That's purely going by the data. But if BJP can push this narrative that, look, Rahul is the martyr, Rahul has lost his seat, in the due course of fighting with us and all that. And then, they push the Congress to make Rahul Gandhi an acceptable face. And that's where probably BJP will try to gain.
Right. Anurag Naidu's take on the matter. Thank you so much for joining us, Anurag. We are showing visuals of Sonia Gandhi, the latest visuals of her entering Mallikarjun Kharge's residence for that big meeting that we're talking about. That Brijesh broke the story, broke the news that on a day that has been absolute madness for the Congress party is ending with an important strategy taking stock meeting that is taking place at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. It's a crucial meeting. A lot will be decided. Rahul Gandhi arriving at the meeting right after Sonia Gandhi. Brijesh, quickly tell us the top leaders at that meeting.
Well, I think almost all the top leaders are there in the meeting. Mallikarjun Kharge is, of course, it's happening at his residence. Apart from that, Jairam Ramesh, Vivek Tankha, Manish Tiwari, Mukul Vasnik, Pawan Bansal, Chidambaram. So there are lot of important leaders are there. I think the meeting is to discuss the strategy, to formulate the strategy of the way how do they go forward about this. Does the Congress take a bit of a defensive stance, or does the Congress goes all out and take a very aggressive stand on this particular issue? How to go about legally as well, as to to seek a stay on the judgment, as Abhishek Manu Singh, we heard him in the presser, he was completely demolishing the judgment, and it'll be interesting to see how it holds up, the judgment holds up the scrutiny of a superior court. So all these will be very, very fascinating to watch out for. Will the chorus, as like social media, we saw some of the BJP guys saying that this is time for go for the kill, have him expelled from the Lok Sabha. But as Rashid Bhai very, very aptly said, that that they are ambitious, both Modi and Shah, but they are not reckless. So I think they will take their own course, they will take their due time, and only after that a decision will be taken on whether he gets expelled from the Lok Sabha, or they try to exploit the narration, and they try to seek maximum advantage, as we saw what the several ministers, right from Giriraj Singh to others, are trying to give it a caste spin, putting it on the how basically the insult was not of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but it was an insult of all the OBCs, the Modi community per se. So the BJP, both sides will try to seek maximum advantage of the situation. So I think it's going to be fascinating for the next 24 to 36 hours as to how this pans out.
And this, even as the parliament continues to be in a logjam, there has to be a strategy there as well, Brijesh, isn't it?
Well, the parliament is not going to function. Last week also I said this very categorically, the parliament is not going to function because usually the onus of running the parliament smoothly lies with the government. If there's any hiccup and all, it is the government which goes to opposition and tries to break the logjam. This time the government is very clear that till Rahul Gandhi apologizes for the remark made in Cambridge, they are not going to budge an inch. They know that if they don't pin Rahul Gandhi on that particular narrative, then the other party will be seen as getting one step ahead of the narration. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party and most of the opposition parties are with him on this issue, that there should be a JPC to probe the Hindenburg allegation against Adani Group. So both sides are completely they're not moving in even an inch from their stated position. So chances of second leg of parliament happening, forget smoothly even happening, will be a very wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking is the word coming in from our political editor, Brijesh Pandey. Thank you so much, Brijesh, for joining us on this broadcast. Rahul has been convicted. What next? We'll have to wait and watch. Next 24 to 36 hours could be very telling. But with that, we've completely run out of time here on this particular edition of News 9 Live. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off. Keep it with News 9.